We are talking about self-love in this series and how important it is for us to love ourselves. One of the most powerful things you can do is to have self-love for yourself. And what this does, it will actually build your self-esteem. It will build your confidence, your self-worth, all the things. So the question is, do you love yourself? And if yes, do you love yourself unconditionally? For so many of us, we'll say, yes, I do have self-love, but it's conditional. We love ourselves until we make a mistake, or we say the wrong thing, or we just can't seem to get life under control. A lot of times, we have an inner voice. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you have that inner voice that goes off in your head from time to time? Think about that voice right now. Is that voice your best cheerleader? Or is the dominant inner voice your worst inner critic? Sometimes that inner voice will say, you should have said this, or you should have done that. And that'll replay in our head after we've experienced our interaction. When that inner voice plays in your mind, you shoulda, woulda, coulda, that's essentially your indicator to let you know that you are not showing up as the woman you want to be, that maybe the self-love that you have for yourself is conditional. The important thing is to arm yourself with knowledge and take inspired action to improving and strengthening this area. Now let's kick it back to when we were kids. We weren't taught to be overly critical or overly judgmental of ourselves. No, this is something that was learned along the way during our upbringing and our past experiences and interactions. We've all done things that we're not so proud of. We've experienced things that we're not so proud of. It is important for you to know that you are not your past, you are not your mistakes, and you are not your imperfections. If you are feeling low on the self-love scale, that's okay. Know that you are not alone. A lot of my clients come to me and they don't have strong self-love for themselves. And what this is doing is affecting all of their relationships, because the relationship you have with yourself lays the foundation for the relationship that you have with others. It's the way that they view you. It's the way that you show up. It impacts your essence. And your essence is who you are and how you're showing up. Now, to start this process of building and strengthening self-love within yourself, you need to start with 3 areas that lay the foundation. Step 1, be honest with yourself and stop pretending. As women in all of our roles, as wife, mother, daughter, you name it, we will wear a mask and we put our best foot forward and pretend to be this version of ourselves. But we're not 100% the person that we allow others to see. So when you're starting the process of your self-love journey, you have to be honest with yourself. Step 2 is self-awareness. There are things that we may not be happy with, right? We store it in our brains because it happened, but then we push it far down deep into the caves of our soul because we don't want to think about it. We don't want to be honest about it. Allow whatever lives down there to come to the surface. This step is where you're going to write down everything that you either don't like about yourself or you just wish to improve on. Step 3 is self-acceptance. Yes, that one can be a hard one for so many of us. So first step was being honest. Second step was self-awareness. You just really calling BS on yourself and listing out all the things in the areas that you want to improve on. Step 3, ladies, this is where we accept that we are exactly who we need to be right now. This is who we are. Our past relationships, our past mistakes, our past experiences, everything has made us who we are today. You don't need to change yourself in order to be like anybody else. You don't need to compare yourself to anyone else or try to change in order to fit in anyone else's box. Remember when I said your essence is who you are and how you're showing up in this world? That all begins with the level of self-love that you have for yourself. If you're ready for the next chapter in this beautiful book of you, then you must lay a strong core foundation, and it starts with these 3 steps.